te mauna, te parirua tai tū, tai pari. Te tapu kuahia te marae ko tōra masira te pare tupu. Te tainu i te waka, ko ngāti tōra masira kui. Mau mahara ki aratu ko ohi atu ki te pō, mo mau ki atu o ki tia. Tātou te ngore paini ki a tātou ko tāngai noho tahi ai rungi te whakarama whakaidira. Nore nei te mauna, te parirua tai tū, tai pari. Te wahia tōra e tōra masira, rungi te whakarama ko tātou. Te tainu i te waka, ko ngāti. Tai ari ki a koe, ke tōna tira me ki. Mau mahara ki aratu ko ohi atu ki te atua ki a koe te ki a mano ki. Tai mai pani nui ata. Tātou te ngore paini ki a tātou ko tāngai noho tahi ai rungi te whakarama whakaidira. Tai atu ki a koe, kori atu kai tū ki, kora taua hia tōna e tōra masira, rungi te whakarama ki a koe tātou. Tai nui te whitia mai, tai ari ki a koe, ke tōna tira me ki. Mau mahara ki aratu ko ohi atu ki te atua ki a koe te ki a mano ki. Tai mai pani nui ata. Tātou rā te ngore paini ki koe, ko tāngai atu ki a rungi te whakarama whakaidira. Tō talohani, nā maste, konnichiwa, ni hao. Ene ngā reo ki roto ki a Purirua, engari ko te reo tuatahi, ko te reo te hainga, ko te reo ngā matua tūpuna. Koutou rai ngā tamariki, hara mai rā ki te manaki tia mai mātou, hei pōhiritia, hei haka pōhiritia, hei manaki tia mai mātou, ki roto i o koutou nei hura, te hura o Russell School. Nō reira, kei te minita, e mihi katu ki a koe, hei tiaki mai, tō mātou nei kaupapa o Tarane. Can I just say a warm welcome to you all this morning that have come and braved this chilly weather. But for us, it's a new beginning, it's a cleansing, and I think what's going to be presented this morning, our tūpuna are happy with. And for Ngāti Tō, we will engage, we will work with the community that have brought so much to the city over many, many years. We welcome you. We welcome all those dignitaries that have worked alongside Ngāti Tō over the previous 24 months to bring this kaupapa to fruition today. And we thank you for attending this morning as well. I don't want to continue. I'll just turn the time over to the kaupapa and allow for a response, and then we'll get on with the official business. He wai. Kapa tuana te uira ki runga o hukurangi whati maira ki tihi ki tuawera. Ka tarehua, He unga nā tū, he unga nā tū. Waiho ko te kai whakapoke ki te whenua, he mataika kei te huinga. Whakamaua te tatao ki te tai hokianga. Ka whai mai te riri, tihewa mauri ora. Ngāti toa rangatira tēnā rā koutou. E taku tēnā rā koe nau nei mātou I hakatau ki konei ki roto tēne o ngā whare. Nau nei mātou me tō tātou Premier Jacinda Ardern I whakatau ki konei hei mō tēnei kaupapa whakahirahira rau atu. Ārira mihi kauna ki a koe ki a koutou katoa, tēnā rā koe e tā matu me te poari ngā kaimahi o te runanga o tō rangatira. Nā reira tēnā koutou, he rangi tino pai tēnei, he rangi a tāhua. A hoki oku maumaharatanga ki toku tāinga mai ki konei, tuatahi ki konei hau tamariki ana. Oku matua keke I noho mai ki roto porirua ara ko Reverend Walton Davis I roto Drivers Crescent. tōku matua tōna teina, Uncle Ted Davis i roto Seegers Grove. Nā rau no ki kone mātou no te North, haere mai o miharo rawa ti tēnei taone nui. Mahara ke hau taku tānga tuatahi ki tēnei wahi toa. Haka hira rawatu. Mai I kaua ki tēnei wahi ara ko te Waitangirua Shopping Centre. Miharo rawatu kia. Nāre hari kona hoki ngā mahara. Hoki oku mahara ki wera taime hau tamariki ana pēnei te nohi o ene nohi maindei. Ene ko te mea nui, mā rātou ka kitea I ngā hua, I a rātou tupu ake ana no te ngā hua o tēnei kaupapa. Nā rere e tikana kia hoki ngā whakaro ki a rātou ko whiturangi tia o huri tuara ki a mātou, engari ngā mate ki a rātou, rātou ki a rātou, hoki mai ki a tātou, huri rauna te whare nei. Koutou no te hāpuri, koutou no te kura, ngā kai ako te kura, te tūmaki sose tēnā rā kura. Te koro matua mai, koutou katoa e hui ana kia rongo I tēnei kaupapa whakahirehira, tēnā koutou, a tēnā tātou katoa, kia ora. Nuku tai tanga wahine, Āhuru tai tanga wahine, e mei rā ngā puri, tukua mai ārahiri, kia rere atu horo tuku, kia kitea ai te whenua. Ai te korero, arariti katoto, ngā puna wai o ngā tūpuna, tau marere te hoki anga. Heira mata ko ngā uri, arahiri te tūpuna, Ahuai te ahakaruru, tēnei rā ngā puri, tēnei rā ngā puri. I just had to step back from the microphone because at the opening of Parliament this year, I gave the first mihi and then we sung a song, and my mother said, next time you do that, make sure you step away from the microphone. The whole country heard how flat you are. Nā reira, huri rauna, tēnā koutou, kia ora mana tātou.
Koe anora tēnā hoki tātou. Tēnei katoa kia whakatau atu ia koutou kia whapoiti ai tēnei wāhanga o te pōka. Nō reire te whine, kanui ta kua ke kia ke ia koe ar takino hoki, tō hoka teitei, kua tai mai ki wainga hi a wātu. Wai rawa hoki ki te ia koe e Kelvin, tauri a te whatanui.
Kia ora.
Tērā hua o a tatau nei mātua tūpunu te wai e ke mai ai, ki tēnei whitua te moti, tēnei mahi pāreka reka. Rore kānui hoki tia mihi kia kota hoki ngā minita ko tai mai, kia koe hoki te māngai o te tai hau āuru, aro mai, tanu hoki kia koe gati whātua, tō tānau nei mea, e pai aro hoki te ki te ko tai mai hoki ngā tani whae e rua, rote raki. Koe anora kia tātou ko tai mai, hara mai. Ka nui te kua, ko ka kiki hoki tēnei marau. Kia kitea hoki, tēnei rangi whakaharahara, nō reira tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. Tēnā ia mātai o
Mōwai pa ia le tua o le na pa ia le soa. Pa ia foi le soa wau su mai na whionga e au le malo. Le palemia, Jacinta Ardern, pa pe foi sui o le palemene. Tangata whenua, e mai se le nei vaenga po rua i ona taitai o tupu mai. O lava i nai whanga. A le atato talo I le tua. Let us offer this time to God in prayer. Let us pray. E whesui ai le tau le tuae. A lo walofa le whesui sui ai o ananafi o nei ma tai au se I o I le whabawau. Le lofa leo la o fio o taitai mai ai le nafionga I le palemia Jacinta Ardern. O sui o le palemene pa pena foi le li e. Lau whanau o poto mai matanga luenga se mai se si o mātou o tunuu. Si o mātou pitonu nei purua ma le whanau. Wa e si la fia le whamoe moi. Si o mai lo nganga whaie au whatasi e manu aina uma. The weather changes are gone. But what we know, your love will never change. Your love is the same. Yesterday, today, tomorrow and always. That love of yours has brought to us the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Jacinta Ardern, members of the Parliament, the leaders of our communities, and our children. Lord, we are here knowing that your presence will be with us. So may your spirit lead and guide our time together from start until the end. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
A tēnā koutou katoa ngā mihi nui ki koutou katoa tā lofa lava. A kia rana, mā loi le leipo le vanaka, whakalofa lahi atu, tā loha ni, whakalofa atu, ni hao, buenos dias and warm greetings. He mihi nui ki koutou katoa mō tēnei rā, nau mai hai mai katoa ki pā Porirua. To our Ngāti Roa Rangatira, to our Prime Minister, to our Mayor Mike Tana, to my ministerial and parliamentary colleagues, representatives of our community via our council, all of you, welcome to this very important day. Before I continue, can I also acknowledge the hospitality of Russell School and the principal, Sos Edendale, and to the children who are here in front of us today. It gives us a reminder of how special this place is and how proud we are of Porirua. Now, before I go on, I need to cover off some housekeeping. If there is an emergency, we ask that you leave the marquee through the way you come in and head up central steps, which are behind us. Given the events this week, if there is an earthquake, and because I'm the Minister of Civil Defence, I would all like you to drop, cover and hold. Better than the parliamentarians did this week. And you'll be given further instructions by staff here at the school. The bathrooms are to the hall, which is just to my left, your right, and you're all invited to stay for a cup of tea and sandwich once we're finished. They will be served in the hall after our ceremony this morning. Look, folks, as a local MP, I'm extremely proud to be here today, but I wanted to set the scene by reflecting on how we got here. Porirua East has a proud history, and while I don't want to go too far back, I would like to start at the period after the war, because between the 1950s and the 1970s, the Ministry of Work started a huge building program here in Porirua, constructing nearly 3,000 multi-units, duplexes and standalone state houses here in Porirua East. People moved to Porirua to make a new life, many from different cultures, which has made our community richer. These buildings remain a major part of the housing within Porirua East, and in fact, in the 1990s, Porirua was the largest concentration of Housing New Zealand units in New Zealand at that time. The unique combination of communities hailing from other parts of the world, particularly from the Pacific, coming together has to this day fostered a proud sense of identity right here in Porirua East. If we pop into any of the schools here, you'll see that, as we have seen today, the way in which students show off their heritage, but also come together to support each other and grow this community's unique character, which we've seen already this morning. We have much to be proud of here in Porirua East, and it was the leadership of resident groups and fundraising committees to build their own halls, their meeting places, playgrounds and churches, and residents have fought hard to create a home and a community for their children and grandchildren here. Our community draws strength from our connection to this place, so today is an important day for the community to come in and define how Porirua East will grow in the future. I wanted to close with a personal reflection, because since becoming the MP, there has never been a time where I haven't been out and about and someone in the community has wanted to talk about housing. My electoral office, over half the people that come in because they're having trouble with housing. I've hosted meetings here in Porirua East, here at the school, to talk about making sure we can get more and better housing for this community. So it is with great pride that we're here to make this announcement, and to give you more details on that, I would like to introduce the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Jacinda Ardern.
Te whare e tēnei, te marae e tā koto ana, tēnā kora, e nā mā te maha haere, haere, haere. Nā tangata whenua o tēnei rohi, tēnā koutou. Tātou nā kānohi ore e hui mai ana, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. And can I add Mālola lei, talofa lava, whakalofa lahi atu, mālo ni, and warm Pacific greetings to everyone who is here. The warmth of your presence within this marquee will make up for what we're all experiencing outside. And can I also thank the children for your wonderful, wonderful welcome today. It was an incredible way to enter into your school, and I can see just how proud you are of it. I want to also acknowledge Sir Mitchell Ray, Ngāti Toa, Mayor Mike Tana, Minister for Māori Crown Relations, Te Arawhiti, Calvin Davis, Minister of Housing, Phil Twyford, and of course your wonderful local MP and Minister, Chris Whāwhoi, who I have to tell you is doing a really good job. I also want to acknowledge all the members of the community who've joined us here today. A few weeks ago, I hosted a picnic, with slightly better weather than this, a picnic in the garden at Premier House, so in my backyard. And the reason I did that was because I wanted to hear from the rangatahi and tamariki of Aotearoa what they want for New Zealand, the things that they're concerned about, the things that they want to see changed, what their aspirations were for the future. I want to share with you what they shared with me. They talked about bullying, they talked about education, they talked about health, families, friendships, even refugees. They worry about the stress their parents are under. They worry about whether or not they have enough time to spend with them. And they talked about the importance of everyone having a home. Now, I mention these aspirations today because they're at the heart of why we are here. Eastern Porirua, as MP Chris Whāwhoi has said, is one of the highest concentrations of public housing anywhere in New Zealand, with nearly 2,000 properties across the suburbs of Ascot Park, Waitangirua, Cannons Creek and Ranui. And as many of you are all too well aware, many of these homes are a bit old now, a bit damp, and are not the homes they could or should be for their community. Eastern Porirua is a strong, vibrant, multicultural community, and they deserve better than what they have now. Today, I'm making two interdependent but hugely significant announcements. One that sits at the heart of the idea of being a transformational government. The first is that the government will work alongside the community, the Porirua City Council and Ngāti Toa, on a program that will transform the eastern Porirua suburbs of Porirua East, Cannons Creek, Waitangirua and Ascot Park. The second is that we are demonstrating a new way of working with Māori to deliver mutual objectives by partnering with Ngāti Toa to renew public housing stock across Western Porirua, Te Tahi Bay, Mana and Tawa. Now, what does this mean in real terms? As a result of these two initiatives, we expect to make 2,900 public houses in Porirua warmer, drier and safer, while also delivering at least 2,000 extra homes focused on Kiwi build. We want to rebuild this incredibly strong community and make it even better. And one way we can do that within Kiwi Build is by giving those already living in Porirua first preference in the Kiwi Build ballots, giving those who have ties here the chance to own their own home here and strengthen the communities that they love. In the wider Porirua area and Tawa, we will add 150 new public houses to increase the public housing stock without adding to the high concentration in eastern Porirua. The number there will remain the same as we currently have. Now, the scale and ambition of what we are intending might happen is once in a generation. In fact, to put all of this in context, Wellington region has not seen a project of this scale and ambition since the time that Porirua City was first built. This is a large, long-term, generational investment. But today's announcement is about more than housing. While the revitalisation will be led by housing, we don't intend for it to stop there. We want to start a conversation with all of you who live and work in Eastern Porirua about how to unlock the potential for social and economic growth here. We want, alongside you, to look at how neighbourhoods might be better designed. Amenities like streets and parks can be upgraded to make it easier for people to come together to get around to do business. Now, doing all of these things will stimulate economic activity and also, importantly, create jobs. We want to find ways that the local community can particularly benefit from these opportunities. The project will also provide the community an opportunity to think about future needs in the area, making sure that we're building the services around the housing here. Now, I put together all the different aspects of what I'm outlining here, and you'll see we want to deliver a step change and a positive one. Now, I don't blame you if some of you out there might be a little bit cynical, perhaps. I'm very aware that in the past, previous governments have made promises that were never delivered on. Funding potentially never eventuated, or construction was slow or didn't start. Now, to underline our commitment to change, we already have Cabinet agreement to future funding to deliver this proposal. We have committed to spending up to $1.5 billion on the Porirua revitalisation. So, I can assure you there is no backing down or backing away, and we intend to get underway quickly, so you'll be able to see tangible proof of the work. We expect the first new public housing to be ready for someone to move into in 2019, and the first Kiwi build homes are expected to be completed in 2020. Now, delivering this project is going to be all about partnerships, and I just want to talk to that very quickly if I can. A key priority for this government is closer partnerships with Māori as we transition to a post-settlement environment. Māori and the Crown have so many shared objectives, and by partnering we can achieve much more together than we ever can alone. As mana whenua of Porirua, Ngāti Toa have a special position of historical importance in the local community. For 30 years they've also provided medical and dental services to Porirua residents. The government and Ngāti Toa are united in wanting to improve public housing across Porirua. We've entered into a partnership with Ngāti Toa that recognises their unique place within this community. We're also providing with iwi a pathway to land ownership and commercial opportunities. The partnership includes Ngāti Toa's agreement over the treatment of their right to first refusal, which will make the regeneration of Eastern Porirua possible. The intention is that Ngāti Toa will take over managing the leases of around 900 Housing New Zealand properties in Western Porirua, including Te Tahi Bay, Mana and Tawa, while also renewing and upgrading public housing in these areas. Now, some of the details are still being worked through, but all going to plan, Ngāti Toa will take over the lease of these properties in late 2019. The partnership will give us an opportunity to deepen our relationship with Ngāti Toa, also delivering quality public housing. But I do want to give assurance to Housing New Zealand tenants in these properties and in Eastern Porirua. The changes I'm outlining today will not affect your tenancy. You will have the same rights and the same responsibilities as you do now, and the amount you pay in rent will not change. If there are three words, though, that sums up what everything I said today is all about, it's about community, it's about partnership, and it's about well-being. I've already talked about the Māori Crown partnership, but it's also about working alongside you as members of the community, and at the moment we are at the very beginning. This is day one. Much of this project we will work alongside you to develop up the details of. But I hope you use your voice in making some of these ideas come to fruition. One final point I would like to make. You know, if we just applied the same rules of government to determining what projects we invest in and what we don't, sometimes projects like this wouldn't stack up. But when you apply another test, when you apply the test of strengthening community, of the well-being of tamariki and rangatahi, of building a place to call home and all of the benefits that come from having parks, green space, job creation, then a project like this stacks up every single time. And that is the test that this government applied when we decided to enter into this venture with you today. And that's, I hope, a demonstration to you that we are committed to doing things differently, that we're committed to transformational change no longer, how long it may take, and we're committed to doing it together. For everyone in this room who has been a part of this partnership, I thank you. For every one of you who's going to keep working with us to deliver it, particularly Ngāti Toa, I thank you. I'm immensely proud to be here at the beginning of what I know will be a change that when I, in future years, when I'm old and grey and have grandchildren at this age, I hope that I will drive through this wonderful community and think that we did something special together. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou.
Kia ora, Prime Minister. Thank you very much for that announcement. Excitement doesn't come anywhere close to defining how I feel right now, so thank you very much for that. As the Prime Minister said, this is a new way, as part of this project, a new way that this government is going to have relationships with iwi. So an important part of this project is our relationship with Ngāti Toa. So I'd like to invite Ngāti Toa Rangatira to Matawai to come and speak.
I agree with everything you said, Prime Minister. It's a wonderful speech. Firstly, I'd like to say, ngā mihi kia koto, ngā tamariki o te kura nei. Nā koutou hoki whakatau mai I a tātou. Ka uru mai hoki ki roto I tōkura, o reira tēnā koutou. Secondly, I'd like to just turn to my cousin down here, who's our sole of our treaty claim. And we didn't realise what could happen with RFRs, but we thought we'd take them anyway, and they've turned out to be something of some value. So, tēnā pe e tira. Prime Minister, I just would like to start by saying is that Ngāti Toa supports the concept of reset for Porirua East. And we also welcome the opportunity for us to manage 900 houses in Western Porirua. This is a great opportunity for us. For almost 30 years, Prime Minister, we have been providing health services to predominantly Māori and Pacific people. We have 5 centres, one in Tapuāhia, one in Mount Gavin Avenue, one in Cannons Creek, one in Waitangirua, as well as one in Mount Cook in Wellington. So this is an extremely important step for us as an iwi, as an integrated provider of health services in the Porirua and Wellington areas. Now we know that housing is an important determinant of well-being and good health. Poor housing quality and instability of tenure are associated with numerous physical and mental health conditions. Tenure instability disrupts work, school and daycare arrangements, as well as social networks for both parents and children. Worries over one's housing situation and little control over one's home can result in distress and subsequent mental disorders. So it's natural, given our focus on closing the gaps for our people, which is not just Ngāti Toa but all vulnerable communities, that we want to ensure people are able to have access to warm, dry and secure homes, having shelter. A place to call home is more than a basic physical requirement. That's why we have named our housing service the Āhuru Mōwai, a sheltering haven. As you might know, Prime Minister, Ōroto PHO is a Ngāti Toa subsidiary, is one of 3 PHOs in the Greater Wellington region. We deliver health and service and social services to our registered population, and this housing arrangement is a marvellous opportunity to tackle one of the major social determinants of health, which of course is housing. We operate all of our clinics as very low cost access practices. Although one of them is not, and this anomaly occurred because of an embargo based on extending the very low cost access funding access scheme. An instrument, I'd say very low cost access, is an instrument to control co-payments, to ensure low cost access for primary health care for those New Zealanders who need primary health care the most. And this is the community that needs that sort of access, Prime Minister. So I want to tell you that PLCA funding is not broken, but it's necessary to ensure that Māori, Pacific and other vulnerable populations are able to access quality health care that is not episodic but well planned for well-being outcomes. VLC funding has been wrongly characterised as cheap health care that is poor quality. It is not. We have great doctors, and I'm sure the people here will be able to say that. Back me up. We have great nurses, great psychologists, we have great AOD advisors and great facilities. We employ podiatrists, dentists, physiotherapists, asthma specialists, tamariki order nurses, navigators, immunisation nurses and others. We work hard providing integrated care for our clients, many of whom have multiple chronic conditions. The VLC funding model was created to ensure that those who could not pay rising general practice fees were able to access practices that were committed to providing low cost and quality primary health. That is why it's such an important approach to health funding. The fees review process and VLCA were two approaches designed to curb general practitioners raising their charges, with little regard for the impact it would have on people who most needed care with very little discretionary monies to pay for that care. In a recent study by Brian Betty, a local GP, he found that VLCA practices had higher concentrations of complex patients who could have up to 5 or more chronic conditions. The study clearly shows that VLCA subsidies fell well short of the real cost of services, and significantly so. Further, Prime Minister's recent reports, or reviews really, had highlighted the difficulties poor people and Indigenous people have when accessing services that have been designed to help them. It seems the revised funding model being currently negotiated will follow this well-trodden path via the return of the community services card. One of the great advances of the Honourable Ed King's primary health strategy was to eliminate the need for the community services card. The barrier of the card will not address and remedy disparities for Māori and Pacifica, but expressed earlier, the underlying reason is for Māori and Pacific is to close the gap. We need another barrier to the ones we've carried since birth. We don't need more bureaucratic racism, and we don't need the tyranny of the majority. When we talk about closing the gaps, we often forget to include the big economic policies shots like Treasury, the Ministry, MB, MPI, etc., and their influence on the financial, economic and employment environment for New Zealanders. It would be fair to say that in the main, the people of Pōrero are often, I think, forgotten by these policy advisors, and many have consequently borne most of the negative impacts of the major economic and social changes that have occurred in New Zealand since the 1980s. The attention of government in Pōrero has mainly been via the social sector agencies, whose primary role, particularly in health, is to mitigate the impact of inequality. Is this what we want for our communities in Pōrero? Well, I, for one, do not. I believe that all economic and monetary policies need to be focused on closing the gap, not mitigating the impact. Finally, Prime Minister, the renewal in Pōrero East and Ātito's management in the West, announced by Ministers Twyford and Whawhoi, are exciting. But that renewal, and I'm glad that you've mentioned it, must include attracting employment opportunities for our people, particularly our young, along with investing in the infrastructure and social amenities that enable people to live well in their communities. Pōrero East, like other similar suburbs, set up as satellite housing areas with little investment in the infrastructure or social amenities required to build well-resourced and supported communities. I hope we have learnt our history, as said, those who do not know their history are condemned to repeat it. Finally, Prime Minister, I would like to say thank you for this opportunity, for Porirua, for driving this renewal process, for resetting the communities on the east side, and also giving Ngāti Toa this wonderful opportunity to work in partnership with the Crown and your agencies. And in saying that, I'd like to thank the officials who have come and we've worked assiduously to get where we are today. So pēr anō rā, e kui mā tātou, e whitahi ai, I tēnei rā, e mihi nei, kia koutou katoa tai noho ki a tātou nei, mani hiri, teitei, tēnā koutou, kia ora tātou katoa.
Councillor Matt, thank you for your words and for always keeping us on our toes. Another important part of this partnership is the Crown's relationship with the Porirua City Council, so it gives me great pride to introduce our Mayor and my mate, Mike Tana.
Wow, kia ora, talofa lava, kia orana. Namaste, no mai, haere mai. Today is indeed a great day. I'll say it again, today is indeed a great day. Minister, I'd like to thank you and acknowledge you for coming today. It's so awesome to have your mana here and to have you as our leader internationally and nationally and have your presence here with our children. It is so important for us to see the leader of this country celebrating with us something that has come today. So please give her a hand again. Thank you. Tā matu rei, au kaumātua takiparai, Ngāti Toa mana whenua. Thank you for letting us be here. You are the leaders of this land. You are tangata whenua of this land. And without your leadership, without your history, we cannot go forward. Without the name of Porirua, we are not a city. So thank you so much for your welcome as well. Minister Whāwhoi, my mate, but I just want to say, welcoming you in isn't really what I want to say. I want to say thank you for your tireless work to get something like this over the line. You do not cease in your work, and I thank you very much. The ministers, thank you. The ministers, Twyford and Davis, also thank you so much for the work that you have done, and I know that you work tirelessly and also take on a lot of, I guess, the media approach as to whether this is reality or today, this is the reality. This is the biggest thing that has happened in the Wellington region for so long, and it is so important that it is here in Porirua. For every single one of you people here today, you have played a part in this. Thank you so much to the different ministries, but also to the communities here. And I see so many community leaders here with big smiles on their faces. And the smiles are because you've worked so hard for this. You've asked so many questions, and they have been answered today. Thank you very much. It is a great day here in Porirua. But also, the biggest thing I really want to say thank you to are to our children. To the school, to Susef, thank you so much for having us here. There must be so many health and safety issues at the moment with our flying tent. If the cameras are watching this, it's actually quite dry and warm and there's no wind. These children are our future. And I look down and I see my nephew here laughing and smiling. They don't know the significance of what is happening here today. But I will tell you now, as our Prime Minister said, they will know. And when you come through here looking rather stately, slightly grey, we will welcome you in. And hopefully these adults here will say to you, thank you very much for making the decision to focus on Porirua for something so transformational. I'm going to try and rush this on because we have all been sitting here in our lovely warm weather, but it is actually an exciting time here for Porirua. Porirua here is the centre of the Wellington region. We all know that. Now, the rest of the country will know that as well. This government wants to improve the well-being of New Zealanders. The seeds of that policy have been planted here today in Porirua, and Porirua is proud to be at the forefront of the transformational change to come. Although we recognise a number of Porirua residents enjoy some of the highest household incomes in the country, we are also too aware of the struggles of families that have had here in Porirua for many years just to make ends meet. Now these families, our families, can look forward to having warm, dry, affordable houses for their tamariki and their whānau. Now, with the help of the government, we can improve the well-being of all our citizens. It starts here today. As the Mayor of Porirua, it is gratifying for me to know that some of our most vulnerable residents have finally been listened to and that they have been asking for the improvements in housing for so many years, and it is going to happen now. Porirua is amazing. Our amazing sense of community, its many diverse cultures, our attractive parks, facilities and beaches help to make it an awesome place to live, to work and to play and to raise a family. This development will not only make living here much more enjoyable, but it will also provide fantastic employment opportunities, as we've heard, for our residents and give a real boost to our business sector. The whole city will benefit. Being able to work with the government, with Ngāti Toa Rangatira and with our residents, most importantly, with our residents to shape the change the growth of our city is such an amazing opportunity. Our council and our city value working together with others to achieve our full potential. This is the reason why we're here today. This exciting development will now be a major part of the wider plans for our city. Right now we are working on a 30-year growth strategy for Porirua, so we are clear about precisely when and why growth should occur. This is important because at the same time we've been working with the community on our district plan, which will guide how we change and what this will look like. Today, the growth strategy and district plan will determine how our city will be shaped into the future. This moment will be a big part of that future. And as I go to my last words, I lose my place. Porirua is poised and ready for this sea change moment. With Transmission Gully, Kinepu Landing, housing development, the proposed Adventure Park, and now this incredible development in Eastern Porirua and Western Porirua, our stars have aligned. We have thriving, diverse communities and people who are passionate about Porirua and its potential are here in this room. We are looking forward to working alongside with Housing New Zealand, HLC and Ngāti Toa, the government, to make sure that things that make the area really special, like the sense of community and outstanding natural spaces, are maintained and enhanced. And there we go, we've just lost our words. But they're really good ones, so you just have to wait. Because I wrote these ones. Oh boy, I should have numbered my notes. You're going to have to believe me, this is really good. If only I could find it. And you know what? I can't find it. So, this is really good because it's going to come off the top of my head. This is about Porirua. This is about our city, but this is also about our country. This government has made a commitment to serve the well-being of our people. And I believe that this is one of the ways that we can see a significant input into Porirua goes straight to the heart of well-being. Prime Minister, you said one thing internationally that I want to repeat, and that is it's about kindness. This is all about kindness today. Thank you very much coming into our city and sharing this with us. Ngā mihi nui kia koutou. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Ka tira tina rā tātou katoa. Kia ora everyone. Today in Parliament is sitting in extended hours. I'm meant to be there, but so I'm a late addition to the program. So I want to thank the Prime Minister and apologise to her because I've turned up. I'm meant to be in the chair presiding over points of order standoffs, but I'm here today in my capacity as the other local MP for Te Tai Hauru, and I want to join with everyone in today's announcement. What a fantastic day this is for Porirua. But my job now is to say a few thank yous. Tuatahi e tika ana kia tukumihi atu i kia koutou ngā tamariki mokopono o te kura nei. My first thanks is to the children and who are going to be the major beneficiaries of the announcement today. I also want to acknowledge them, the teachers, the Board of Trustees, Russell Street School, you rock, you're awesome. Kia koutou te hau kainga, te mana whenua, Ngāti toa rangatira e tika ana kia tukumihi atu kia koutou katoa. Tēnei a hau, tō koutou māngai I roto I te whare pāre mate tukumihi atu kia koutou. Tukumihi atu kia koutou whānau katoa no reira tēnā koutou. I want to thank the Reverend Liasi as well for the beautiful karakia today. And a reminder of what's really important. Thank you very much. And the Porirua City Council, Mayor Mike Tana, anei au kia tukumihi atu kia koe. I've done exactly the same thing, and it's way better when come off the top of your head, and that's amazing. So I want to acknowledge your ability to send out the aroha and the message within what you've had to say for our community here in Porirua. And one last thing, don't forget there's a cup of tea straight after this, so nō reira, kore e rō tēnei kōrero o te rā e tika ana kia tukumihi atu kia tātou katoa, nō reira, kia ora mai tātou. Oh, and then my job is to hand over back to the Reverend Liasi for our final story. You can tell I'm a last minute addition. And now for the signing of these documents. Sign